Hello students and welcome back. In the previous lesson, yesterday, we talked about comparative adjectives. And when do we use comparative adjectives? Hold your fingers up, come on. Yes, Luca. Alright, to compare two things. For homework, you had to create your own video presentation about your family using only comparative adjectives. I watched your videos on our private YouTube channel and they were all very good. Today we're going to talk about a similar argument and it's superlative adjectives. Does anyone know what this word means? Superlative? Alright, let's try. Sarah, do you have any idea about it? Alright, so Sarah says that superlative is something that it's the best. And she's right? Because we don't have any more two things to compare, but we're going to talk about the best thing, right, of a group. Okay, so for example, I'm probably the tallest in this class, right? So because I'm very tall. And so this is an example of superlative. And the most exciting, the most interesting argument, right? Superlative adjectives. So I think we're now ready, right, to explain how to form superlative adjectives and when to use them. So let's get it started. So just like we did for comparative adjectives, we're going to distinguish between three categories. What categories? It's the same we did for comparative adjectives. Alright, so one syllable adjective, very good. So one syllable adjective, the most of them, alright, we just add est, right? Ist. So it's, for example, tallest, okay? Smallest. Pay attention to the pronunciation of it, right? So, for example, in Italy, where I live, we usually say biggest, okay? Because it's more similar to our own language. But the sound is more similar to ist. Biggest, okay? Happiest. Smallest. Okay, it's very important to pronounce them correctly. So just like we said for comparative adjectives, when we have an adjective that is one syllable and ends with a vowel and a consonant like big, we have to double the last consonant, so it's biggest, right? Then the second category, Sarah, please help me. Yes, alright, so adjectives with two or more syllables, right? Most of them, or oops, I said most, yes, right, most of them just need the extra word most. So the most exciting, the most interesting, the most beautiful, alright? So it's very easy because it's very similar to comparative adjectives. With comparative, what was the extra word we used? Yes, very good, more, alright? So now it's not more, but it's most, the most, because it's the best, the one, right? So we use the article the, right? It's the most beautiful, it's the most interesting. Then we have exceptions, right? And maybe you can imagine what kind of exceptions, because they are very similar to those we examine regarding the comparative adjectives, right? So for example, good right? The comparative form was better, but the superlative form is best, all right? Yes, it's easy, right? I'm the best. Okay. Or maybe I'm the worst. Worst? Can you tell me the positive adjective of this superlative form? Worst? Bad. Very good. Wow. I'm very proud of you. You're very good. And then we have far. That becomes farthest or furthest. Okay? So I think we examined all the exceptions. And again, what about happy? Happy is a very confusing adjective because it's an exception. And we said that the comparative form of happy is happier, right? So the Y disappears and we write the suffix IER, okay? While for the superlative form, it's the same thing because the Y disappears and so it becomes happiest, okay? So HIEST. Alright, so I think it's now your turn, and please give me some examples, guys. So, for example, Luca. Please, an example with the superlative. Alright, Laura is the most beautiful girl in the classroom. Alright, I think they are all beautiful, but that's a great example. So it's now time for your guided practice. Okay, so you're going to watch some very famous scenes from movies and TV shows like The Simpsons, and you're going to find maybe to write down on your notebook all the superlative forms you recognize. So it's a listening activity and a writing activity, and you are going to work in groups. Okay, so let's get it started.